Good afternoon, YouTube. What's going on? It's Mesa back at it with some Destiny 2. Alright folks, strap in, buckle your seatbelts. 1.1.4 is here, and I'm going to go through the entire patch notes in this video. However, if there are any changes, it will be in the pinned comment as well as the description. A couple of things before we get into it. I will be streaming the Nightfall Strikes right after this, probably about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Also, let me throw this on screen right here. This is a response on Reddit from Christopher Barrett, where he says, both the random rolls topic and weapon slots are extremely high on a priority list. We absolutely owe players answers to those. Guys, anything is possible at this point, which means that they are looking into it. I've said this before, I'm a broken record. They said Rumble and 6v6 would never come back to Destiny 2. And sure enough, we have them, or they're coming at least. So I would not put it past them. If we argue and yell enough about these things, we will get them. So let's dive into this, guys. Update 1.1.4. It kicks off with strikes. Nightfall Strike unique rewards are here. Here we go. Possible rewards include legendary weapons and exotic accessories. No idea what that means. I'm recording this obviously prior to the update going live. However, tune into my stream because we'll be grinding those Nightfalls all day to see if we can figure out what these exotic accessories are. Also, drop rates increase in likelihood based on score thresholds. Next up, we have strike repetition reduction. Thank heavens. I'm tired of the Taken Blight strike and would like to play the inverted spire every once in a while. Here we go. Players will no longer see the same strike back to back in the strike playlists. Also, the challenge card that we have for our prestige Nightfall strikes, they're increasing the power handicap to a maximum of 45 from 40. Then we got some fixes here. So fixed an issue where Tree of Probabilities would end immediately after Valus Thaun. Is that how you say his name? His death if he was killed very quickly. Fixed an issue where players could respawn below the boss fight of a garden world. Fixed an issue where vehicles were not rewarding points when destroyed. Fixed an issue where orbs granted points in public areas. Next up, we have the exotic repetition reduction. So protections were put in place that prevent back-to-back duplicate exotics from exotic engrams. Fixed an issue where some emblems were not displaying what statistic they track. Prometheus Lens correctly appears in the exotic weapon collection for players who acquired the item from Xur without owning Curse of Osiris. Also, reduction in the interaction time for patrol beacons. Now it only takes 1 second as opposed to 3 seconds. Then they fixed an issue where applying or previewing a shader on an item would return players to the top page of their shader inventory. Alright folks, here we go. Now it's the Sandbox. We're going to kick this off with the weapons, and the first one up on the board is Pulse Rifles. Now, increased PvE damage for all Pulse Rifles by 16%, which is good. I never use Pulse Rifles in PvE. Increase the rate of fire for adaptive and high impact Pulse Rifles. The adaptives are going from 360 rounds per minute to 390, and high impacts are going from 320 to 340 rounds per minute. Now we've got some base damages for the Pulse Rifles that are going up. Adaptive is going up 10.3%. High impact is going up 12.5%. Rapid fire is going up 4.2%. We also have some precision multiplier changes. So for lightweight pulse rifles, that's going up from 1.5 to 1.6. So that's going to be a 6.7% increase in precision multiplier damage. I can't wait to use my Time War Inspire. Love that thing. But they're decreasing the precision multiplier for adaptive pulse rifles from 1.55 to 1.475. So a reduction of 5.8%. Next up is a design note. This keeps precision damage close to where it is now when you factor in the base damage and rate of fire buffs above. This puts most of the buff into body shots, but in the end, this still increases precision damage overall. So I'm really excited to try out pulse rifles in both PvE and PvP this week. Scout rifles are getting even better. If you love Nameless Midnight and you love the, well, my favorite, the Manananan SR4, you're going to be a happy camper with this one for PvE. So, Scout Rifles increase PvE damage for all Scout Rifles by 15%. However, increasing the base damage for high impact Scout Rifles from 37 to 40, so basically an 8.1% buff for those high impact Scout Rifles. Next up, we have hand cannons. So, increased PvE damage for all hand cannons by 15%. Also, precision hand cannons deal 0.5 times more precision damage, increasing it from 1.5 to 1.6, and that's basically a 6.6% buff. Also, they're increasing the hipfire accuracy when using controllers on console and PC by 33%. Also, increasing the ADS accuracy when using controllers on console and PC by 25%. Next up, we have sidearms, and sidearms are finally going to be usable in PvE, and I think they're going to become slightly more annoying in PvP. First off, increasing PvE damage for all sidearms by 15%. Increasing the hipfire accuracy, reduce the cone by 20%. Increasing the ADS accuracy, reducing the cone by 12%. They're going to increase your inventory, so you're going to have more reserve ammo. That's a good thing for PvE. Increasing the range fall off starting at +1 meters, and then increasing the ADS movement speed. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out in PvP. I personally think sidearm spammers are quite annoying, but hey, with all the other buffs to all their weapons, hey, they may not be that bad. Next up, we have submachine guns. Man, lately Invis Hunters running Antiope and all the other submachine guns have been really annoying me. Oh, that's just because I'm terrible with submachine guns. All right, submachine guns, increasing PvE damage for all submachine guns by 10%. That's cool because I never use submachine guns in PvE. Now they're setting the optics to 1.3 times and also increasing the inventory to allow you to carry more ammo. That's obviously for PvE probably. Linear fusions are getting a buff, increasing PvE damage for all linear fusions by a whopping 50%. What does that say? They want us to stop using rockets and try to go back to using linear fusions. Look, I was using linear fusions, the Mana War, when D2 first dropped for boss killing, basically. They're increasing the aim assist and also decreasing the flinch multiplier. Shotguns, increasing PvE damage for all shotguns by 35%. That's cool because I don't use shotguns in PvE. Increasing your inventory to get more ammo. Increased aim assist on Suros precision shotguns. Sniper rifles, increasing PvE damage by 20% for yellow bar enemies, 40% for red bar enemies. They're increasing the precision damage, which now scales with the weapon's fire rate. So they changed it from 2.5 times for everything to 3.0 times at the lowest rate of fire up to 3.5 for the highest rate of fire. They're increasing aim assist. They're also increasing the inventory, giving us more ammo. I'm assuming that's more for PvE, but we'll see how much you could stow in PvP. We'll find out later on. Grenade launchers increase the blast radius for the drum-fed grenade launchers by 0.5 meters. One-shot grenade launchers by 1.0 meters. Mida Mini Tool decreased the Mida Mini Tool's optics to match other submachine guns. Prevented the stacking of lightweight of the Mida Mini Tool's lightweight perks. All right, why did they do that? Adjusted player movement speed to match the Mida multi-tool. Auto rifles getting a little bit of a nerf for the precision auto rifles. So for precision auto rifles, they're decreasing the range by 10 and they're decreasing the aim assist for all precision auto rifles. Now let's move into perks. So the following 3 perks are getting a buff for PvE damage. High impact reserves, buff of 16%. Kill clip, buff of 15%. Rampage is also getting a buff in its timer and damage. So from 1.33 times at 3 stacks, now it's going to be 1.65 times at 3 stacks, and the timer is going up from 3 seconds to 3.5 seconds. Next up for Dragonfly, we're getting a buff in damage and also the effects of it, which we don't know what it looks like now, but when you kill something, safe to say the explosion's kind of small. But they're buffing the damage from 50 to 65, so that's plus 30%. But also says here, plus 30% additional damage against combatants. Explosive rounds. They're decreasing the PvE explosive rounds damage multiplier by 15%. However, they are increasing PvE damage for the base weapon to compensate for that decrease. Grave Robber, it's going to reload 50% of your magazine instead of the 30 that it's doing now. Timed payload, they're going to split that damage 55-45, which is explosive / direct, instead of the previous split, which was more just direct damage. Now let's move into abilities. So first off, increased our super regeneration. It was 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Now it's going to be 5 minutes. The output of every increment of the mobility stat from 2 to 10 has been increased, allowing for a significant boost in player speed. Now let's talk about Vanishing Step and then also Vanish at Smoke. Vanishing Step is when you dodge, you go invis. Vanish at Smoke, you throw a smoke bomb on the floor, you go invis. So dodging is going to remain unchanged, but it's still going to break both aim assist and projectile tracking for the duration of the actual dodge. The invisibility granted by Vanishing Step no longer breaks aim assist or projectile tracking in PvP. However, it is unchanged in PvE. They are increasing the duration of the invisibility granted by Vanishing Step by 1 second, and they're increasing the duration of the Smoke Bomb invisibility by 1 second. Next up, we have increased the movement speed of melee supers. That means Fist of Panics, Sentinel Shield, Arc Staff. So while these supers are active, sprint speed is automatically set to the fastest possible sprint speed. No additional perks needed. Characters automatically sprint when you request forward movement. Increase movement acceleration to reach max speed almost instantly. So if you're a roaming super, you're going to go fast. Now we're going to move into the actual classes. So first up, Titan. Increase the distance the player travels with an untargeted airborne shoulder charge attack, shield bash, seismic strike, and hammer strike back to 4.5 meters. Lift, strafe lift. That's getting an increased top speed. For Catapult Lift, they're going to increase the initial horizontal acceleration gained from activating Catapult Lift and increase the amount of time Catapult Lift can be active to allow for more control. The Hunter, the Arc Staff's getting a bunch of changes, increasing the speed of the Arc Staff dodge animation, increasing the speed of all Arc Staff attack animations. For Arc Staff Super Cast animation and all Arc Staff melee attacks, reduce the amount of time you're locked in animations before you can move or attack. Also, the increase in the AoE, area of effect, range for all Arc Staff attacks. Next up, we're going to move into my favorite class, the Warlock. Glide. All right, so overall, they're increasing the initial extension of the vertical speed gained from activating Glide to allow for quick on-demand bursts of speed, which is good because I feel like I am in slow motion compared to Destiny 1 with regards to my Warlock. Strafe Glide, increasing the top speed of Strafe Glide, greatly increasing the horizontal acceleration of Strafe Glide to allow for more in-air maneuverability, and then increasing the glide's max height to match other vertical movements. Burst Glide, greatly increasing the top speed of Burst Glide higher than Strafe Glide's top speed. Next up, we have Balanced Glide. So they recalibrated Balanced Glide to gain some of the added speed Burst Glide and some of the added horizontal acceleration of Strafe Glide. Design note, our intent is for Balanced Glide to have some of the properties of both Burst and Strafe Glide without being as potent as either version. Next up, Dawnblade's going under the knife, in a good way though, and I might actually start using it because as a Warlock main, I go Voidwalker for PvP, and I always go Stormcaller for PvE. So here we go, Dawnblade. Decreased the cost of throwing sword projectiles with the Daybreak Super, allowing for one additional throw. Also, they're increasing the super duration extension gained from the Everlasting Flames perk plus 20%. The buff granted from the Swift Strike melee ability now removes all inner accuracy penalties while active. They're going to decrease the cooldown of the Icarus dash cooldown from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. I like that because I never used the top tree. Increase the grenade and melee energy that Heat Rises gives you per kill from 10% to 16%. They also fix an issue where players could throw an infinite number of Nova Bombs in Mayhem. Yes, okay, Mayhem's not going to be broken next time. Next up, we got some changes to the mods. Not that much though, but check this out. Mods that affect ability regen rates, for example, grenades, melee, class abilities, now have an increased output of 16.667% per mod. They still cap at 3 mods, which will give you a 50% regen rate. So I've been hoarding all of my mods for abilities for a long time now, so I'll be popping them all on and doing a lot of in-depth testing, not only on all the abilities and everything, but all these weapon buffs, changes, so forth. So let's move into the Crucible, or as I used to call it in September of 2014, the Crucible. But you guys got really annoyed when I kept saying that, so I stopped saying it. All right, weekly featured playlist, Rumble, Mayhem, and Iron Banner. Each week, we will rotate amongst Rumble, Mayhem, and Iron Banner in the Crucible. Crucible repetition reduction, enabling repeat map protection for Quickplay, competitive, and Iron Banner playlists. Thank heavens. In Quickplay, it's a nightmare playing the same maps over and over and over. Now we have quitter penalties, and you guys already know this already. Incomplete matches in competitive Crucible playlists will now result in a warning or temporary 30-minute suspension from competitive and Osiris competitive playlists. Added invisible physics and kill volumes to keep players inside the intended playable area on a number of maps. Iron Banner is now going to have 6v6. Time limit's going to be 12 minutes. Score limit's going to be 125 points. Respawn time, 7 seconds. All control zones start off neutral. Additional Guardians, max of 3, in a zone actually increases the capture speed, kind of like Destiny 1. Emperor's Respite has been removed from the Iron Banner Control playlist. Bravo, Bungie. That is the most unfair map to play Control on unless you get, pretty sure it's A-Dom. Is it C-Dom? No, it's C-Dom. I don't know. If you get one side, you're probably going to win the game if you hold that point. Anyway, I'm babbling. Let's move on. Power ammo. Reoccurring side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 45 seconds. Initial side crate respawn times is reduced from 90 seconds to 30 seconds. Crucible gameplay and ammo improvements, quick play, clash, control, and supremacy. Match length has been extended to 10 minutes with score limits adjusted accordingly. Now, for all the Crucible game modes, they're increasing assist and kill credit time from 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds, increasing super energy granted to players for both kills and also assists. Players who are defeated while carrying power ammo will lose all of their power ammo and drop 50% of it on the ground as a brick. The brick will be visible to all players. Anyone can pick it up. The brick will expire after 30 seconds. The brick requires a full 0.25 second interaction instead of a passive walkover. This interaction can be interrupted if the player takes damage. Next up, let's talk about quick play. So for all modes in quick play, match length has been extended to 10 minutes with score limits adjusted accordingly. The respawn timer for all quick play modes has gone down from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. Reoccurring side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. Neutral crates for Clash and Supremacy are unchanged. The player's super display has been removed from the HUD. Players can still access this information in the depth screen and while in the nav mode, means while their ghost is out. The player's super display remains unchanged in competitive. Next up, let's talk about control. So for control, they reduced the initial side crate power ammo respawn time from 90 seconds to 30 seconds. They also changed the amount of super energy players get from capturing zones. Players on a capturing team get slightly less than before. Players participating in the capture itself get 2 times that amount. Now let's talk about competitive and including Trials of the Nine. And I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What do you think of this? The tracker is now turned off. But it says their design note in here is, this is to enable more flanking and expression of individual power. Let me know, you competitive MLG PvP pros. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So for survival, they're reducing the reoccurring neutral crate respawn times from 75 seconds to 45 seconds, and they're reducing the respawn time down to 7 seconds. Countdown, reducing reoccurring side crate respawn times from 60 seconds to 45 seconds. Lowered the revive lockout time from 20 seconds to just 7 seconds. Players no longer lose revive tokens on death. PvP pros, chime in the comment section. What do you guys think? All right, folks, so we are in the home stretch. If you made it this far, you are a legend, and you're hashtag legend. And if you made it to the end, hashtag made it to the end. All right, we're going to talk about the Crucible power ammo crates, and I'm just going to laundry list this really quickly. So for rockets, it was 2 rockets. Now you get 1. Drum-fed grenade launcher stays at 4 grenades. Single shot grenade launchers, it used to be 4, now it's 6. Sniper rifles, it was 2 mags, capped at 6, now it's 6 shots. Shotguns, it used to be 2 mags, capped at 4, now it's 5 shots. Slug shotguns, get 6, used to be 4. Fusion rifles now get 5 bursts, used to be 4 to 5 based on the mag size. Wardcliff coil still stays at 1 volley. Swords now get 6 swings. It was 30% of total energy, capped at 9 swings. Linear fusions, and I don't know who uses them in PvP, it's now 4 shots. It was 2 mags, capped at 6. The Prospector is now 8 grenades. It was 4 grenades. Legend of Acreus is 4 shots, so it was variable. 2 mags, capped at 4. Tractor Cannon, does anyone use that thing? I don't. It's fun to use if you want to annoy people. Tractor Cannon, 6 shots now, was 2 mags, capped at 4. The Colony is staying at 4 shots, but look, I think the Colony's still going to be somewhat annoying, but with the speeds that we're going to be running at in the Crucible, we'll probably be able to get away from those darn things. Darcy is now going to get 8 shots. It was capped at 6. And the Borealis, also same thing, capped at 8 shots. It was 6. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you made it to the end, not only leave me a hashtag made it to the end, but man, you guys, I love you all. You guys are the MVPs. You guys have been just crushing it in my streams lately. The numbers have been insane. The sponsor numbers have been insane. And yeah, I'm having a grand old time playing Destiny 2, and things are going to get better. So that's it, guys. Do me a favor. Drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on the Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream. Usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I'm out of here like Vladimir, and I'll see you in about 2.5 hours at 3:30 p.m. Eastern when I go live for the Nightfall. See you guys.